Hi Flosstube, it's Helen D. Good morning. Actually, good afternoon. I'm a little late this morning. I had a lot to do this morning, so I'm just starting in a little later than usual. It just turned 12 o'clock. Tuesday, September 26th. I hope everyone's doing well. We haven't even been that busy the last couple weeks, but I don't have a ton of stitching that I can show you. So, who knows how long this one will be. It's finally started to feel like fall around here. The last time I talked to you, we were in the middle of a little kind of late season warm stretch. It was getting up into the 80s, high 80s, which is hot. That's especially hot for us in September. So after that passed, it's been really nice. This morning it was 47. I know for some of you that's really cold, but after being in the 80s, that felt really good. Really good. We've been busy with kind of the end of garden season stuff. I know a lot of people can all summer, but a lot of what we do is tomatoes, and I freeze them, and then we make salsa. Lots and lots of salsa. But I have also been making roasted tomato sauce. I did a batch of that this morning, probably my last batch. I'd been saving and freezing all the small tomatoes, and then kind of wanted to do one final batch when they were done. There's like a handful-ish left, but they're just gonna go in a bag for like stews. They'll be fine. So we do most of our canning in the fall because it's cooler and that way it's just more comfortable. So we have salsa to do. We did do applesauce. We're going to do cranberry sauce, a few things. The garden itself is pretty much dead. There's a few hanger-on tomatoes and a few hanger-on herbs, but that's about it. So I have been busy the last few weeks making videos. Even my husband said, you're doing a lot of videos. I said, I know, but I'm making up for all summer when I wasn't able to make a lot of videos. They built up. So I did put out the drum tutorial, and I did kind of a finish with me for Halloween Night by Autumn Lane Stitchery, which I'll show you in just a minute. I also put out my Halloween stuff, so I filmed the kind of, I don't even know what I'm calling them, unboxing, fully finished parade, seasonal parade, whatever it is. That'll be up next week. Yeah, so that stuff is there. So I have a couple fully finishes that I finished up. Actually, I have 4. And then we'll move on from there. So we will start with one that you probably have already seen, but in case you didn't, I want to show it here too. This is my finish of Halloween Night. This chart is by Autumn Lane Stitchery. It's available on their website as both a PDF or a printed. I stitched mine on 14 count light lavender from To Dye For fabrics on Etsy. The only change I made, the border was called to be in like this, it was a Gentle Art floss and it was a dark brownish variegated. I did mine all in black. So I showed in the finish with me how I finished it on this fabric board. There's pom-pom, it's on a circle. This was a mirror that came from Joann's. It had tabs on the back, so I didn't have to break the mirror to get it out. And this is hanging up there, so you'll see it there in the next video. So it's done. It's all done. I probably, when I store it, will pop it out of this frame because I think just the piece would be easier to store, and then I can just tuck that frame in a corner somewhere. So that was fully finished number 1. Fully finished number 2 was also, since I saw you, a start, a finish, and a fully finish, and that was our stitch along for Freaky Fair Isle from Barbie of Petal Pusher, and I was putting on that sal with Carla at Cobweb Corner. It was a really quick stitch, which was perfect. That's like, to me, that's the ideal stitch along. You feel like you can take part, you're excited, it's fun, and then it's done, and you can move on to go back to your regular stuff. So I fully finished. I wasn't able to do a video when I fully finished this one because the time I had to do it, it didn't work for doing a video. But I did fully finish it on the finishing, it's not a board item, the finishing display, there we go, from Chantelle of 141 Designs. So I did not glue this all together. I think it would store better unglued, But if it becomes annoying, I'm gonna glue it together. So these finishing boards are now available on her website, which I will link below. So it is, and I can kind of take it apart and show you after. We'll just talk about it first, because once I've taken it apart, it's apart. So this is my bat. It's stitched on the 14 count black perforated paper, and then I just put a piece of felt behind it, and I'll pop it off here in a second. But here's the full thing. So now we'll pull it apart and I'll talk about it. So the bat itself, I just cut around him, hold on. I just cut around one 1/2 box so that you're not cutting into the square that your stitch is, but I'm cutting right along the other side. I cut along all the way. Then I used the Aleene's glue and I slapped it all over the back of him, even though this is perforated paper and there's holes in it, and I put it on a strip of just black craft felt. Then I went in and just trimmed around about 1/4 inch-ish all the way around my bat to give him an outline. The one thing I found about this floss is ultraviolet from Weeks Dye Works, which is the called for floss, and it's awesome. Photographing this perforated paper with this floss was really difficult because it didn't show. But once you put that black behind it, it pops right out. So that's him. And then on the back, I just put a little scrap of mat board so that it would have a little stiffness for where I put the magnet on. And this is a washer. So I glued the washer right onto him, so now he can pop off for storage. So the board itself, there's my magnet. So this comes in some parts. So it pops off the bottom, right? Here's base number 1, here's base number 2, and those you could, like I said, glue together. And then the moon is its own piece. And then this is the circle. When I finished, you could tell from my paint job that I thought the moon went all the way to the edge and I wasn't quite on this edge with my paint. And then when I held the moon up to it, I'm like, oh, gotta fix that. So it looks bad this way, but once the moon is on, you can't tell at all. And then it has these 2 stars, which I glued, and I glued a magnet and then dripped some glue. So this is where I can put him on. I don't know what I'm doing with painting. I pulled some paints out. They're ancient. I swear some of them are older than my son. And I mixed together a blue and a purple. And first I went with that. And then I was like, that's too blue. So then I mixed in some black, but I didn't mix it in. I had it in like a little cup. I just kind of dropped some drops in there so that then when I dipped my brush in, I got more like, some areas have more black than others. So that's what I did. That's not any kind of real technique. This is just a solid color. I didn't do the sides of the stars and the moon. I left them kind of the burnt color that you get from the laser cutting. And then I took my bat and I laid him on here before he was magneted. And I kind of figured, all right, well, where do I want him? I don't want him straight on, right? I knew I didn't want him like straight on. I wanted him kind of tipped, like he's flying. So I angled him kind of where I wanted him and then glued the stars on so that they'd not be covered by the bat. And I just used E6000. Chantelle uses like a Gorilla Glue super glue or a wood glue. My Gorilla Glue was hard as a rock and I didn't have any wood glue, so E6000. And now he's on there with the magnet, so I might want him straight. I might want him tipped. I might want him this way. I can wiggle him around however I want. So he's all done. And I painted the bases too, and I did use a coat of like a clear coat. Just one though, I just put one, and it just to kind of seal it, and so it didn't get all over my hands and all over whatever I store it with. So I think that came out really cute. A lot of people have finished it. From what I can see, because I know we talked about that hashtag, and from what everyone commented, that's just how Instagram is doing hashtags now. They're taking all the fun out of hashtags. So for everyone who tagged me on Instagram in your post, I'm East Coast period crafter. Thank you. So I could make sure I saw. A lot of people finish them as ornaments. They've all been great. So it's been really fun to see how quickly people finish them, the different colors, the color combinations they use. So it's been a lot of fun. So that was fully finished, number 2. This is our last stitch along. This is Tranquility by Jan Hicks, which is now available just as a straight paper chart. I finished this as a pillow. I found this fun fabric that kind of pulled out the colors of the birds. And then I had some chenille that was, again, just the right color. I was looking for a chenille in this pinky color, but I couldn't find it. And this blue one was fine. So that is all done. This one was stitched on a 16 count Serene from Picture This Plus. And then the last thing I fully finished is another piece from Petal Pusher. This one has been in my finished drawer waiting forever, for years, for a couple of years. So the last time that pictureframes.com had a sale, they had like some clearance stuff. It was super cheap. So I'm like, all right, what's in my box? What needs to go? And this one needed to go. So this is Heaven and Nature Sing from Petal Pusher. This might not show well, but it's like a mint green frame, which kind of matched some of the lighter, like these are a minty green in real life. So I had that custom cut, popped it in there. I did end up putting a piece of black lightweight interfacing on this because it's a black fabric and the mat board under the foam core is white, so you could see the holes, so to just kind of hide them a little bit. So I'm excited to have this one out this year. I thought it would be a really big pillow, and I didn't want it that big, so this one's done. Slide that one in there. So those are my fully finished pieces. Finishes, I have just 2 that I can show you, and they're teeny tiny. So here's the deal. I started stitching Fall and Halloween in August, and it kind of was mostly Halloween. And I really worked hard to get that Halloween night piece finished, which wasn't even on my radar for this year until I found that frame. And then we had the Tranquility sale, and I had a autumnal sampler. I kind of burnt myself out on Halloween. So I know we're working on the Witch Along, which I did work on, but I'm kind of overstitching Halloween for the year. So that's all right. Instead, I thought, you know what? You got to get going on your ornaments because it's September, it's the end of September. I'm not doing teacher ornaments this year except for my son's homeroom teacher. So that cuts down drastically on the number. So some of these I won't be able to show you until I'll do a video, kind of my secret, what I worked on for Christmas stitching, because I don't like to show things that I know people are watching. But these, no one's watching. So I have 2 tiny ornament finishes. The first one, and I thought I grabbed the chart, but I didn't. This is just a teeny tiny. It was from last year's Friend Stitch box by Heart and Hand in Bent Creek, although this one absolutely looks like Cecilia Turner's handiwork. So it's just a little cute Santa face. It's on a 28 count Springfield Sage Lugana. And I just pulled a red and a green. I just pulled colors. So I think this one is just for me. And then this one is for my son. This is from an old issue. It's from a magazine. And I can't, if you really needed to know, I could probably find it. So let me know. But it's on the same fabric as Mary Katniss. I mean, this took a night. Might have taken 2. The Santa face only took a couple nights. And this is on the same, like I said, the same fabric. I used the same red and green. I pulled them for this, and then I just kept going. So 2 done. Actually, I have 4 done, but the other 2 I can't show you. So that's my finishes. And then whips, I don't have many because I was working on these other big things. So here's the piece I'm working on for the hashtag Nora Corbett Witch Along. This is Eva from Nora Corbett. A lot of people have their witches all done too. And unfortunately, mine will not be done for this year. She's still on the frame. Like, I'm still putting some strands in, but I'm not feeling it. Not feeling the black, I think. So that's as far as I got. I don't even remember where I was last time. This fabric is a 28 count Lugana Night Sky Brandy from Mystic Fabrics. It's perfect for this piece. Those purples and stuff are really popping off. So I'm kind of still right in here. There's like a swath of black right there. That's what that is. So plugging along. I'll keep her out through Halloween and then she'll get tucked away. She will be a carryover whip. Can I tell you how much I love this fabric? I made this bag not too long ago. I made a second one for Tracy at OG Stitchery. We did a bag swap, but I had to make one for myself. I think it's a Riley Blake Alice in Wonderland. It's super cute. And then I had a new start. And this was not even a planned new start. I talked about maybe starting some of the tiny towns. Didn't happen. Instead, I started this one, which I bought last year and loved it, and I didn't get to it. I have a wood piece, just a very plain wood circle piece that it will fit in. So this is called Mini Fungi Garden, and it's by Una Buena Pieza on Etsy. And I will link that down below. While I'm talking about her, she also just released some new Halloween charts, and one of them I'm sure I will get eventually. It's called Victorian Graveyard Mini. How cool is that? So that's probably, but again, probably not this year because it's Halloween. All right, so here's my progress. This is on a 14 or 16. It's on a brown Aida. I don't have anything left to put under it. So I got pretty far. There's 1,000 color changes, which I don't mind one bit. I like something. I actually don't know how well I would do with a monochromatic piece because I find that a little boring. I prefer to just change colors all day. So that's as far as I got. I love the snails and the mushrooms. This is a bird. I think this one's on Pattern Keeper, and I think I'm like 35% done. That one didn't really get any love once I started the ornaments either, but I'll get back to that one. I'd like to get that one done this fall. So that's kind of what I've been working on. Other than that, yeah, there's really nothing else that kind of got any stitches put in it. I did get a couple of gifts that I wanted to say thank you for. Cindy and Sally both sent me a package with some like Past the Stash charts. Excuse me, and some really cool fabrics that I'm really excited to use. So it's part of the reason why I want to get all these last year kind of whips finished up, is so next year I can start a bunch of new things. And I'm really excited to play with some of those fabrics and match things up and see what I can come up with. And then Kimberly reached out to me and she sent me, first of all, this adorable card. She sent me this tier tray. That is amazing. And I believe she got it at Home Goods. How cool is this? So it's spider webs with creepy spiders on them, which, you know, I'm not a fan, but I like spider webs for decorating. How cool is this? So she got it at Home Goods, and I am going to fill it with all of my Halloween smalls, which is great because when I put stuff away, when I put my Halloween stuff up, I'm out of space. I'm out of space because Halloween and autumn go up at the same time, and those are my two favorite things to stitch for, and I'm out of room. And I had all my Halloween stuff on top of the piano. And I knew I was gonna spread it out, but for now it was just on top of the piano. When my husband come downstairs and he was like, it's looking a little busy up there. I'm like, I know, I'm gonna spread it out. It's just there for now. So now all the smalls can go in this awesome tier tray. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm very excited to pull this out. I'm gonna go move some stuff in it right after this video. That's it. Two things I want to talk about. I am going to start Pumpkin Fair still, I'm planning on October 1st, and I will use hashtag Pumpkin Fair Sal or hashtag October House Fair Sal. And that's what that looks like. I pulled some fabric. I think I pulled I don't even know, a 16. I pulled a light tannish color. And this is by October House Fiber Arts, Pumpkin Fair. It's a new release, and I know some stores are just getting it. So if you want to join in on that, it should be out there. And then I'm getting ready for Stitch New England retreat, which is coming up in like 3 weeks, middle of October. I'm on the committee for that, so we've been having meetings and things, and I'm excited for that to like finally be here. We've been talking about it for months and months and months, talking and planning for months. So I'm excited for that to finally be here. I do think I'm going to have a retreat start, and I think it's going to be this. This is a brand new, she just released it at Galleria chart from Barbie of Petal Pusher. It's called, I'm going to show you the whole thing. It's called Troublemakers, and I love it. Barbie showed me this last year at Market. She just had it charted, right? That was it. And I've been waiting to stitch this since then. So I'm really excited. The board is also available, and it's from Scarlet Sky Stitchery, which I think now, they're going by a different name. I'll have to list it below because I don't remember. If you're going to Stitch New England and you want to join in, hopefully you can pick this up before then. I don't think Barbie has it on her website yet, but it is a brand new release, and it's all DMC, and I'm really excited to work on that. So that is coming up, and that's kind of all I have planned, and then we'll just see where the wind takes me. You never know. I wasn't planning on stitching Christmas ornaments for a week and a half, but I did. Ooh. All right. So giveaways is our last thing. We have 2 last calls. Leonie Ryan for Halloween Cat and Cindy Zamzow for Pumpkin Fair. So first 2 giveaways, as always, are from Carla at Cobweb Corner. If you want to go give her channel a like and a subscribe, she's been doing a lot of kind of new release videos, as well as here's 31 charts for Halloween, and here's some autumn and Thanksgiving charts, kind of to give you some, to show some charts you might not have seen before. So I will link those down below. You need to be over 18 so you can legally give me your address. Please don't say like or giveaway, and you can just use the numerical number in your comment, and I will draw in my next regular update. So number 1, oh, I'm looking at my list. We didn't do last times. Let's do last times first. Then we'll do the new ones, because that's the order they're in my stack. So the winners of last time. Number 1, Witchy Me by Lucy Beam, is Tammy Everman. Number 2, Trick or Treat, Praiseworthy Stitches, is Pam Seabrell. Number 3, Hands-On Design, Let's Talk Autumn, Shannon Minor or Minner, M-I-N-N-E-R. And number 4, Halloween Countdown, is Norma Farrow. So those are last time's winners. Now let's do some new ones. Number 1, if you're interested in this one, use the letter 1. Number 1, this is Kindness from Little House Needleworks. It's part of the Little Sheep Virtues. Perfect for fall. Number 2 is Cranky Owl. This is modern folk embroidery. And I have this chart and I think it's amazing. And you could pick any variegated floss you wanted, or 2, like if you want the leaves one color and then the rest of it like a brown. And I think he would stitch up really quick. 79 by 79. Like, that would stitch up really quick. So that's number 2. And then I pulled a couple from my Pass the Stash kind of bag I have going. So number 3 is Autumn Blessings. This is Pineberry Lane. This is a little, for those of you into more prim things. And number 4 is Halloween Kisses from Primrose Cottage. So those are the giveaways. We're at the end of my pile and the end of my notes. So we must have made it through. I hope you all have a good rest of the week. If any of you are coming to Stitch New England, I'm excited to meet people when we're there. I'm going to be very busy because everyone on the committee, we're helping in the trunk show room and different things. But please come say hello. I'd love to see you. I'm a little overwhelmed with the 300 people. So you never know. Sometimes I get a little more shy and sometimes I get a little more outgoing. So we'll just see what happens. And that's about it. So I'll see you guys again. I'll have the Halloween finishes next week, and then I should be back for a regular video in 2 weeks from today. So thank you very much. I'll talk to you later. Bye.